Now, students, we are going to start with new chapter. It is motion is straight line. Okay. So, firstly, start with this chapter, and we have to know the difference between rest and motion. Okay. So, before getting started with the chapter, let me discuss. You will tell. Okay. Just think. Open your mind. Okay. Think and then start. Just you tell. In this whole world, one thing which is in rest, which is in rest. So you will say, whatever things is nearby you, you will say this chair, this table is in rest. So I'm saying no, this table and chair is lie over the earth, and earth is revolving around the sun. Okay. So next thing is come in your mind. So sir, sun is in rest. So then I will say no, according to our ancestors will say sun rises from east and set to west. It means sun is in motion. So it means what? Nothing is in rest and nothing is in motion. How we define rest and motion? So before deciding the rest and motion, firstly we have to decide from where we are observed. Okay. If we are observed from the earth reference, so we'll say sun is moving. Okay. And if we are observing anything with the taking reference sun, so we'll say all planets are revolving around the sun. Okay. So it means totally rest and motion is only depend on the frame of reference, in which reference we are saying this thing is in motion and this thing is in rest. Okay. But generally, if somebody says to you how to define rest, so what we say, so how to define the rest? Suppose that this pen, uh, not able to see, suppose that this pen is lie over the this notebook. Okay. If I'm saying this is in rest, so how we define this? Actually I'm saying this is in rest when I'm observing the distance, the position of this pen from you, from your mobile screen, from me, and from surrounding not changing, but time passes. So we'll say this pen is in rest. Okay. So if anything is not changing its position with respect to surrounding and time passes, then we said it is in rest. Okay. Now again, what is in motion? Now suppose that I am changing the position. If anything changes its position with respect to surrounding, and time also passes, so what we say, this thing is in motion. Okay. So now you better understand what is rest and what is motion. Okay. So rest will define after taking the surroundings of a frame of reference and time, uh, and motion as usual. Okay. Now how we defined motion in one dimension, two dimension, three dimension? As we know very well, there are three axes, x, y, and z. Okay. If a ant is going on the wall, on the corner of a room, so we'll say it is in motion, it's doing motion in a straight line. Okay. If anything is move only on one axis, either x, either y, either z, so we'll say it performs motion in one dimension. Okay. Now if anything is moving in two dimension, like when we use chalk as well as marker on the board. Okay. So we are using both axes, x and y, then we are writing. So what we say, that the motion of the marker and chalk is two dimension. Okay. What is three dimension? Whenever we fly the kite. Okay. So the motion of the kite is called three-dimensional motion. Okay. Now another term, a small term is come, that is point masses. What do you understand by point mass? Okay. Look, before getting started with the point mass, let me take the example. Okay. Suppose that I have to move from Anyapuram to Namakkal. Okay. Little bit far away, both of them. Okay. So when I have to go on the bus stand, and means bus stop, sorry, then that bus leave me on the Namakkal. Okay. So I am going inside the bus, I'm going to take the seat either forward, either backward. Okay. then that bus is moving and leave me on the Namakkal. Okay, then you will tell at that time when the bus is leaving me on the Namakkal, at that time is I am counting my steps on the bus, is I am taking the if somebody asks me how much distance from Anyapuram to Namakkal, so I am saying approx 9 kilometer. So is I am counting the length of bus? No, I am assuming my bus as a point object. Okay, so what is point object? So point object is never be defined. We'll say like this: point object, whenever we measure anything by another thing, if that thing dimension is negligible to measured thing, then we say that thing behave like a point object. Okay, then that thing is behave like a point object. Okay, now we'll see distance or displacement. So what do you understand by distance and displacement? Look, there are too many differences that we studied from our childhood, means from class 9. Okay, so distance, as usual, we know the actual path traveled by the body is called distance. Okay, what is displacement? The shortest distance between initial and final point we are taking, because displacement quite later we discuss, it is a vector quantity. We're taking a initial point and we draw the vector. We take initial point tail and final point we draw head. Okay, so what is displacement? It is the shortest distance between initial and final point.